gang, welcome back. This is Rich. A little bit different tonight. We are not talking football, we are talking the Ashes. This is the Suffolk Crunches Ashes preview. Friday morning, 2:20 a.m. Optus Stadium in Perth is the opener for the Ashes as England go in search of their first win down under since Strauss and his boys bought the urn home in 10-11. Can they do it? Firstly, we will go for 50 likes on this video. If you're a cricket fan, get involved and share with your mates. I know a lot of people, when the Ashes comes round, it sort of captures people's imagination. So if you're a cricket fan, share it with your mates. You might even know some people who are heading out to Australia who are lucky enough to have tickets for the series. So we go for 50 likes, hit subscribe and turn on your notifications bell. Also, we will be previewing and reviewing every single test of the series. Might do a few daily updates depending sort of how busy I am. But yeah, get involved. We are sponsored by Bad Shirt Club. They've got some Christmas shirts over on the website. Head over to their Bad Shirt Club and use your code TSC30 at the checkout to get 30% off. We got shirts, we got bucket hats, we got jackets, Christmas shirts looking good, and hopefully they might send me one and then I can wear one on here. I've got some England stuff. Good evening, Mike Baker. He bowls to the left, he bowls to the right. That Mitchell Johnson, his bowling was all right. One series blew us away, didn't he? Right, so Optus Stadium in Perth, 60,000. I think it's sold out first 3 days. I think I was listening on the radio. I think there's 40,000 Brits heading out down under. We start at Perth, then we head to the day nighter down in Brisbane. I think that's the 4th of December. I think it's around about 17th. Adelaide, Boxing Day on the I always sit up, watch Boxing Day night for the first 2 hours. I might sit up through the night this time. Obviously MCG, and then finish up in Sydney for the New Year's Test. I think that starts around the 3rd of January. All on TNT. I think there's daily highlights on BBC iPlayer. Obviously Test Match Special on the radio. Loads of ways to listen and watch it, and hiding under the covers with your radio on, with your earplugs in. I think we've all done that through the years, but I'm off on Friday. I've booked the morning off, booked the day off, so I'll be setting my alarm for 2 a.m. I'll be up and I will be watching, and I'm hoping that, come on England, we can do it this time. I'll give you some series predictions, who I think is going to be leading run scorer, leading wicket taker, what I think the score is going to be in the series. We'll just have a little chat, probably stay here for about 10-15 minutes, who is in and who is getting involved. Not for everybody, I know, but Ashes does, like I say, capture people's imagination. Mark Wood, he is fit to go. He's been bowling in the nets. I see an interview with Jamie Smith saying he was rapid. So do England take the gamble? I think there's 10 spots already taken up. So Crawley and Duckett at the top of the order are opening. Pope at 3, Joe Root at 4, Harry Brook at 5, Captain Ben Stokes at 6, Smith at 7, Atkinson 8, Carse at 9, Archer at 10. Does Mark Wood play? Would you play him? Would you think he needs another game? Because he's not really bowled, has he? He's been injured a lot. He obviously had that hamstring scare out there when he was playing in the practice game for the Lions. I think if he doesn't play, I would expect Josh Tongue to come in. I think England will go, they're going to hit him hard with pace here. I don't think Bashir is going to be playing in this test. Is that the right way to go? I don't know. Sometimes you like a spinner, but I don't really think spin's going to play much of a for England. I'm sure Nathan Lyon will play a role for Australia, but I don't really think England are going to need Bashir in this test. Right, who we got in? Craig, says, no Hazelwood or Cummins makes the first test massive for us. Can't wait. Mike says, we've got to get off to a fast start. If we go down in the first couple of tests, it's going to be a big ask. Yeah, I think, obviously, last time out over here, England were 2-0 down, weren't they? They got a bit declaring at Edgbaston. Should have kept batting. Joe Root was in with Robinson. I went day one, and Root he had them on toast. And then we decided to declare when should have put first innings runs on the board. Should have won that test. Cummins and Lyon got them over the line at the end. Lords, we had them when Lyon got injured and then played some really, really silly cricket. 2-0 down before you knew it. Back we came roaring back at Headingley. I was there day one. Wood was bowling at the speed of light. Mitchell Marsh, great ton. Got over the line there. Would have won in Manchester probably if it hadn't rained. And then obviously won at the Oval with Broad closing out his career. But 2-2. If you go 1-0 down here early, it's like Mike says, it's a long way back. And England, they've lost 13 out of the last 15 away in Australia. So that says how hard it is. And I think the trouble is when we've been out here before, I think we've been beaten before we've got on the field. I know last series was COVID and it didn't really sort of, it was difficult. You know, Broad says it's like the series that didn't exist. We lost 4-0. But the two times before that, we've got panned as well. So a lot of people, sort of pundits coming out saying we haven't had enough warm-up games, we haven't had enough cricket. We played a 3-day game against the Lions. That's it. Lilac Hill, wicket, totally different to Perth. Slow, got above, probably not above knee high. When you go to Perth, it's going to be bouncy. It's a bit like the Wacker. So it'll be interesting how it goes, but you can look. I know like the schedules now. They've obviously a lot of the players were in New Zealand in the one-day series, but I would probably like them to play one more game, even if I know the state sides are not going to put out their best teams, but just to get used to conditions a bit more. But this is what we've decided to go for, and they've obviously planned this a long time, sort of down the road. And you've just got to back Stokes and McCullum and Rob Key for the way that they want to go about it. We haven't exactly set the world alight. Like I say, 13 out of the last 15 we've lost in Australia, and that's having different kinds of preparation. So if we go down this time, I'm sure that'll be a big talking point that we didn't have enough preparation, but I don't really think it makes a lot of difference. I know time in the middle is what we probably needed. Eric Clacton says, I think we can beat them with a little bit of luck. Mike says, what do I think to the skipper having a pop at the legends? Look, everyone's got an opinion now, Mike. You know, Botham, Vaughan, Gooch, they've got a point. But this is the way that Stokes and them want to go, and they like to be a little bit different. And you hope that come start time on Friday, we are prepped and ready to go. This is England's best chance we've had out there for probably, obviously, since Strauss. I'm not saying we're going to win the series, but I think we've got a good chance, obviously, with Cummins and Hazelwood being out. That is a big plus for England, I think. Obviously, look, Cummins, I've seen him in the nets. He looks like he's bowling quick. He'll be back for Brisbane. Hazelwood's the one. When Pat Cummins was injured and he was going to be out, I was pretty surprised. He was playing in a lot of them white ball games against India, the 2020 and the 50 over, and I thought you should be wrapping him in cotton wool. For me, he's their best bowler. I would have had him as leading wicket taker if he was fit, but obviously he's going to miss this test. Does he make the second? Got to be a doubt against him. And look, they're getting no younger. Only one player under 30 in Cameron Green in this squad. I think Brendan Doggett's going to come in. He's going to be making his debut with probably Jake Weatherall at the top of the order. A lot of talk about Labuschagne opening up for them. I think he needs to bat at 3 for Australia. If he opens and then they put Cameron Green at 3, Bo Webster's going to be unlucky if he gets left out, because he's been really decent and he's done probably all he can, and he got wickets in the last Shield game. But I think he's probably going to be the one who misses out. So look, they're under pressure. Australia. I don't agree with Broad. It's their worst team since 2010-11. Look, they've still got a very, very good team. I think Kawaja's obviously coming to the end. This is going to be his last Ashes series. It could be his actually last series. I think we can look to sort of open up some wounds there. Archer against the left-handers. He's very good bowling against left-handers, and they'll probably target Kawaja. You know, they've got a young opener. There's a couple of places there that we can exploit, and we can get into them early. I think if we win the toss, I'd like to see England have a bowl. You know, get out there with a ball and let's stick it up them. This team, they believe in themselves, England. It's all about, can we execute our game plan? Because we like to attack, but we've got to use our heads. And I was listening to I think it was a TMS preview on 5 Live. So many cricket pods. If you want to get some build up to the Ashes, I listen. The Wisdom one's good. Listen to that. Still got a bit to listen to that. Stick to Cricket with Vaughan and Tuffers and Cookie and Bumble. And there's the one with Joss Butler and Broady. Off the top of my head, I can't even remember what it's called. But I listened to that, and yeah, loads of cricket content to get your teeth into. So I'll be all over that. I'll be getting up early, probably most of these tests before I go to work, if I can catch a couple of hours, get it on at work, have it on the radio. I can't wait. It's going to be an exciting series. Just, I think we can definitely get amongst them. Can we just, in them moments when you have to rein it back a little bit, can we just use our heads? And you got to think out there, like over here, we like to attack with a bat. The grounds are big out there. You know, if you're going to clear the ropes out there, you've got to hit it 85, 90 metres. You know, the grounds are a lot bigger because they're AFL stadiums, you know, multi-purpose stadiums, and they're bigger arenas. And if you're going to, they're probably going to go short at probably Brook when he comes in. You know, Harry Brook likes to go for the hook. Jamie Smith, if you're going to go for it, you've got to get plenty of bat on it, because otherwise you're going to get caught in the deep. And I think we'll be tearing our hair out a little bit in this series with England, but I think this is the best chance to win down under. I'm not saying we're going to win. Good evening, Dodson. How you doing? Hope you're good. I'm not saying we're going to win. I think we can win, but a lot of it hinges on this test. This first test. Can we get out of Perth with a win? Or if we can't win this game, get a draw. We can't be going to Brisbane. Pink ball. Aussies are very, very strong. Mitchell Stark swings it around corners. So we can't be going to Brisbane 1-0 down. I'm surprised, actually, that Brisbane's not the first test, because normally first test, isn't it, at the Gabba. So that's changed around a little bit. Could play into England's hand. This is the first time the Optus has had a test match in the Ashes. It's the first time, because normally it was at the Wacker across the river. But I think there's not going to be many draws in this series. Or maybe Sydney, you get later on, they get a bit of weather down there. But I think it's going to be exciting cricket, full throttle cricket. England, they're not going to take a backward step under Stokes. You know, this is his time. This is McCullum's time. But they haven't won a 5-match series for a long time. So if they don't get over the line, there'll be a lot of questions asked. And we have improved, and they're great to watch. I love watching England, but it is all about winning. Dodson's been playing darts, an hour of practice, and still rubbish. Oh, Tanvir, thank you very much for subscribing, top man. Get involved if you haven't subscribed. Tell all your mates, if they're cricket fans, we will be covering the Ashes over here. Yeah, so let's go for leading run scorers for England. A lot of candidates. I think Zach Crawley might have a good series out here. Likes to play on top of that bounce, you know. Long levers. I am going to go leading run scorer for England. I'm going to go Joe Root. He's going to get a century. He's going to get that monkey off his back. He hasn't scored an Ashes century in Australia. I think he averages about 35, which isn't bad, but it's nowhere near his career average of over 50. If he can average 50 in this series, 10 innings, he's going to get over 500 runs, and I think there'll be a couple of centuries in there. So Craig has said Harry Brook. If you're watching live, get involved in the comments. Who is going to be your leading run scorer for England? Leading wicket taker. I'm looking who's going to play the most games. So Wood, for me, he's probably going to play a couple, possibly 3. We're going to have to get a spinner in probably later in the series. Oh, there he is. Kieran's in. He's put 5-0 Ashes. Steve Smith, 700 runs. Boland, 25 wickets. Walk in the park. I will message you later. We need to talk. Because it ain't going to be 5-0. Keep dreaming. Keep dreaming. Leading wicket taker for England, I'm going Gus Atkinson, because I think if he stays fit, he's going to play all 5 tests. I think Castle have a good series as well. Atkinson, for me, these wickets out in Australia, you've got to get your line right, because you're going to get a bit more bounce, you're going to get a bit more carry, but you've got to pitch the ball up, Don't bowl it short. Aussies will take us to the cleaners all day long. Eric says, Archer's time to step up. Yeah, hopefully he can stay fit. I think he'll have a big series, Eric. But yeah, I'm going Gus Atkinson, leading wicket taker. Aussies, you got to go Smith, and you got to go Steve Smith. Smith and Head have got to have a big series for them. I think England have got more players who could have a good series, whereas Australia, they're going to need their main 2, I think, in that engine room. Cameron Green, I think, will get some runs. Me, Nighthawk and Zach going to smash a double block in the rain tomorrow. Can't wait. Thanks for that. Yeah, Cam Green at 6. He's dangerous. I'd rather see him batting at 3, if I'm honest, because I think England can get into him early. But Lyon for them will take a stack full of wickets. I think England will probably try and attack Nathan Lyon on them grounds. If you're going to nail him, you've got to go big. But look, they've obviously got Scotty Boland in. He's got a great record at home. So let's not go sleeping on Australia that just because Cummins and Hazelwood are out, that it's going to be easy. Because it's not, because they've got some very good bowlers. And this worries me a little bit that the pressure's on England here to perform in this test. Without Cummins, without Hazelwood, we really do need to try and get ahead while we can. So it's going to be obviously key that we can take advantage while they're not playing. But I still think it's going to be really, really tough. Series predictions. It all hinges on this first game. England get out of here with a win or a draw. We are well in the series. England lose. It'll be 2-0 before you know it, and it'll be writing on the wall, because under the lights it's going to be tough in Brisbane. But I think Stokes believes, we should believe that England can beat Australia. They're an ageing team. Not saying they're not a good team. They are an ageing team. Eric Clacton says Lyon is class, which he is. I think he's 38 on Thursday, Eric, I heard on the radio. So he's still going. There's plenty in the tank with him. Series predictions, I'm going to go 2-all. It'd be great if it was 2-all going to Sydney and it's a decider. And hopefully if it is, the weather doesn't play a part. But I think England do need to get ahead and get ahead early. But I think it's going to be a great series. Eric says 3-1. Is that to England? Or is it Australia? Yeah, get your series predictions in the comments if you're watching this back on catch up. Get your leading run scorers for England and your leading wicket takers. And that is about it. Friday morning it all starts. It's going to be cold outside, but it's definitely going to be heating up in Perth. Eric says 3-1 to us. So yeah, 50 likes on this video. If you're watching live, hit the like button now, or hit the like button when you're watching it on catch up. If we could get 50 likes, that'd be great. And hopefully we could let's go for 500 views on this video as well. Share it with your mates if they like cricket, if they like the Ashes, and tell them to come and get involved over here. But we will be back whenever this test concludes. We'll do a little roundup, a review, and hopefully it'll be good news. And England have got off to a flying start in Oz, and it's not the same old. But that's 20 minutes in the books. Thank you for watching. Friday morning, set your alarms early, get behind Stokes and the lads, and can we bring the urn home? Fingers crossed we can. Cheers for watching, and we will see you all soon.